The object slides free, small, sharp, metallic. It catches the afternoon light for half a second before falling into the palm of a 7-year-old girl who shouldn't even be here. The boy gasps, his eyes go wide, a car horn blares 3 blocks down, and for the first time in 5 years, Noah Vale's head snaps toward the sound. Before we continue the story, kindly tell us where are you watching from, and subscribe for you to get part 2. Thanks, let's continue. This moment, this impossible, unthinkable moment, doesn't start here. It starts 30 seconds earlier on a Soho sidewalk where a child in yellow suspenders sits alone on the pavement, legs crossed, waiting. His driver leans against a black SUV, scrolling through emails, barely watching. Noah touches the side of his head. Not casually, carefully, like something inside is pressing outward. Zuri Thompson slows her walk home from school. Her backpack hangs off one shoulder, frayed at the seams. Her shoes are too small. Her mother works nights cleaning office buildings in Midtown, and Zuri has learned to notice things other people miss. She stops. Something feels wrong. Not obvious, not visible, but wrong. Noah brushes his hair back and she sees it. Redness behind his ear. Swelling. The kind that comes from pressure building underneath skin. She kneels beside him without asking permission. He looks up. She points to his ear. He nods. Her stomach drops. She's just a kid. She doesn't know medical terms. But pain recognizes pain. And whatever is happening inside this boy's head doesn't belong there. Her hand moves before her brain catches up. She touches the spot gently. He flinches. She feels it then. Something hard. Metal. Buried just beneath the surface. A man's voice cuts through the air like a whip. "What are you doing?" Ethan Vale is running toward them, shoes slapping concrete, his face twisted in panic and rage. He's wearing a suit that costs more than Zuri's entire apartment. His phone is still in his hand. Noah signs something desperate, his small hands moving fast. Zuri doesn't understand sign language, but she understands urgency. She pulls, just enough. And that's when the world cracks open. Who put it there? And why would anyone hurt a child who couldn't even hear them coming? Ethan Vale owns 17 properties across 4 countries. He has a helicopter on standby in New Jersey. His name moves stock prices. His phone calls end careers. But right now, he's on his knees on a dirty Soho sidewalk, staring at a piece of metal in a child's hand, and none of his power means anything. Noah is shaking. Not crying, not speaking, just shaking. Ethan reaches for him, but Noah pulls back, pressing both palms against his ears like he's trying to hold his head together. Zuri steps aside, still holding the object. It's no bigger than a grain of rice, but it feels heavier than anything she's ever touched. The driver finally notices. He rushes over, phone already dialing. "Aye, sir, should I call—" "Call everyone," Ethan snaps. Within 6 minutes, 3 black cars arrive. Within 12, a private doctor is kneeling next to Noah, checking his pulse, his pupils, the wound behind his ear. He needs imaging. Now. Ethan doesn't ask questions. He lifts Noah into his arms and carries him toward the SUV. Zuri stands there, forgotten. The driver glances at her, then at the object still resting in her palm. "I'll need that," he says. She hands it over. He seals it in a plastic evidence bag like it's radioactive. Ethan pauses at the car door. He looks back at Zuri for the first time. Really looks at her. "What's your name?" "Zuri." "How did you know?" She doesn't have an answer that makes sense. "I just felt it." He stares at her for 3 long seconds. Then he nods once, sharp and final, and climbs into the SUV. The convoy pulls away. Zuri stands alone on the sidewalk, her heart pounding, her hands still tingling from the pull. She doesn't know what she just did, but she knows it changed something. That night, Ethan sits in a sterile private clinic on the Upper East Side while doctors run scans on his son. Noah is sedated now, finally calm, and Ethan watches the monitors like they hold answers he's been searching for since the day his son was born. A doctor enters, tablet in hand, face unreadable. "Mr. Vale, we need to talk." Ethan's jaw tightens. "Tell me." The doctor pulls up an image, a 3D model of Noah's inner ear. This object was lodged against his cochlear nerve. It wasn't organic. It wasn't accidental. Ethan's blood goes cold. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying someone put it there. Deliberately." The room tilts. Ethan has enemies, competitors, people who would love to see him fall. But this? This is something else. "How long has it been there?" he asks, his voice barely steady. The doctor hesitates. "Based on the scar tissue, years. Years." Ethan's hands curl into fists. Someone did this to his son. Someone close enough to access him, someone trusted, and they've been walking free this entire time. What kind of monster hides a weapon inside a child? 5 years earlier, the delivery room was too quiet. Machines beeped. Nurses moved in soft shoes. The baby came out healthy, breathing, eyes open, but there was no cry. Ethan's wife, Simone, looked at the doctor, smiling nervously. "Why isn't he crying?" The doctor snapped his fingers near the baby's ear. Nothing. He clapped his hands. Still nothing. That was the first crack in Ethan Vale's carefully constructed universe. By the time specialists confirmed it, the words felt unreal. "Your son is profoundly deaf. Congenital. No auditory response." Simone fell apart slowly, then all at once. She lasted 8 months before the lawyers arrived. With divorce papers, she said she couldn't handle it, said she needed space. She moved to California and remarried within a year. Ethan stayed. He hired the best audiologists, flew in specialists from Boston, Zurich, Tokyo, ran every test modern medicine could offer. Brain scans came back clean. Nerve pathways looked normal. "There's no obstruction," one doctor said. "No structural damage," said another. "Idiopathic," a third concluded. That word, idiopathic, became the most expensive word in Ethan's vocabulary. It meant they didn't know, and if they didn't know, they couldn't fix it. Noah grew up in silence. While other toddlers babbled, he watched. While playgrounds echoed with laughter, his world stayed still. Ethan taught himself sign language in 3 months. He hired tutors, therapists, communication specialists. He built Noah a life that didn't need sound. But every night he sat on the edge of his son's bed and whispered stories Noah would never hear. And something inside him slowly broke. By the time Noah turned 5, Ethan had stopped hoping for miracles. He'd accepted the reality. His son would never hear his voice, never hear music, never hear his own name spoken aloud. And then a 7-year-old girl pulled something out of his ear that wasn't supposed to be there. Now, sitting in the clinic, staring at the scan, Ethan realizes the last 5 years were a lie. His son was never broken. He was sabotaged. The question that keeps him awake isn't how. It's who, and the answer is waiting in the access logs. Zuri Thompson lives in a 4th-floor walk-up in Brooklyn, above a nail salon that smells like acetone and burnt coffee. Her mother, Shanice, works nights. She cleans office buildings in Midtown, vacuuming, emptying trash, scrubbing toilets that CEOs will use in the morning. Zuri does her homework alone. She eats cereal for dinner. She locks the door from the inside and doesn't open it until her mother comes home at 2 a.m., smelling like disinfectant and exhaustion. Shanice always checks on her, even when she's too tired to stand. "You okay, baby?" "I'm okay, Mama." It's the same exchange every night. But tonight, Zuri isn't okay. She sits at the small kitchen table, staring at her hands. She can still feel it. The object sliding free. The boy's sharp intake of breath, the way the world seemed to pause for half a second. Shanice notices. "Something happened today?" Zuri hesitates. "I helped someone." "That's good." I think something bad was happening to him." Shanice sets down her bag and sits across from her daughter. You did the right thing then. How do you know? Because you're here asking. If you'd done something wrong, you wouldn't care. Zuri nods, but the weight doesn't lift. Her mother cups her face gently. You see things other people miss, Zuri. That can be a blessing or a burden. Which one is it? Shanice smiles, sad and knowing. Depends on what you do with it. Zuri doesn't sleep well that night. She dreams of metal and silence and a boy who couldn't hear his own heartbeat. Meanwhile, across the city, Ethan Vale sits in his penthouse office, surrounded by documents, medical records, appointment logs, staff access reports. He's looking for a name, someone who was there during the hearing device fittings, someone who had physical access to Noah during those early appointments. The list is short: 3 audiologists, 2 nurses, 1 private caregiver. His assistant enters quietly. Sir, the security footage from the clinic. Show me. They pull up the recordings. Frame by frame, Ethan watches his son's appointments from 3 years ago, and then he sees it. A hand, a momentary obstruction, a pause that shouldn't be there. He freezes the frame, zooms in. The caregiver's face fills the screen. A woman he trusted, a woman who held his son, who sang to him even though he couldn't hear, who cried when Noah smiled. Her name is Vanessa Copeland, and she's been in his house every single day for the last 4 years. What else has she done while no one was watching? The street is ordinary. Soho at 3:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. Delivery trucks double parked. Tourists taking photos. A dog barking at a pigeon. Noah sits on the pavement in yellow suspenders, legs crossed, waiting. His driver leans against the SUV, scrolling. Noah touches the side of his head again. It's been hurting for weeks. A dull pressure that never goes away. He mentioned it once, but the doctor said it was normal, healing, adjustment, so he stopped mentioning it. Zuri walks past, then stops. She doesn't know why. She just does. She turns back. The boy is alone, not crying, not fidgeting, just still, too still. She takes 3 steps toward him. He looks up. Their eyes meet. She kneels. The pavement is warm under her knees. The city moves around them. Cars, voices, footsteps. But this moment feels separate, suspended. She points to his ear. He nods. She brushes his hair aside. The skin is red, swollen, wrong. Her fingers move carefully, gently. She feels it. Hard, metallic, buried. Her breath catches. This isn't right. A voice shouts from down the block. What are you doing? Ethan Vale is running. Fast. Zuri's heart pounds. She has 2 seconds to decide. Trust the adult. Walk away. Pretend she didn't see anything. Or trust what she feels. Noah's eyes are wide, pleading. She pulls. The object resists for half a second, then it slides free. Small, sharp, unbelievable. It falls into her palm, and the world changes. A car horn blares. Noah's head snaps toward the sound. His mouth opens. His hands fly to his ears, and for the first time in 5 years, he hears. What happens when the silence finally breaks? Ethan's hand closes around Zuri's wrist. Not hard, but firm enough that she can't move. What did you just do? His voice is shaking. Not with anger, with something closer to terror. Noah is on his feet now, stumbling backward, both hands pressed against his ears. His mouth is open, but no sound comes out. His chest heaves like he's drowning in air. The driver drops his phone and rushes over. Sir, we need to get the car ready, now. Zuri tries to pull her hand free. I was helping him. You don't touch someone else's child. He was in pain. Ethan's grip loosens, just slightly. Noah drops his hands. He's staring at the street like he's seeing it for the first time. A taxi honks 2 blocks away. His head turns. His eyes go wide. He heard it. Ethan sees it too. His face goes pale. Noah? The boy looks at his father. Ethan's lips move. Can you? Noah nods. Slow, uncertain, but he nods. Ethan lets go of Zuri's wrist and drops to his knees in front of his son. Say something. Anything. Noah's mouth opens, closes, opens again. Dad. The word is rough, clumsy, like his vocal cords forgot how to work, but it's there. Ethan's face crumples. He pulls Noah into his arms and buries his face in his son's hair. His shoulders shake. The driver stares. Zuri takes a step back, her heart pounding. She did this. She doesn't know how, doesn't know why, but she did this. Ethan pulls himself together. He stands, still holding Noah's hand, and looks at Zuri like he's seeing her for the first time. What's your name? Zuri Thompson. Where do you live? She hesitates. Brooklyn. He pulls out his phone, dials a number, and speaks fast. I need a full medical team at the house in 20 minutes. No, I don't care. Cancel whatever you have to cancel. This is priority 1. He hangs up, looks at Zuri again. You're coming with us. I can't. I'm not asking. The SUV pulls up to the curb. The driver opens the door. Ethan gestures. Get in. Zuri glances back toward her neighborhood. Her mother won't be home for hours. No one will notice she's gone. She climbs into the SUV. Noah sits beside her, still touching his ears, still testing sounds. He taps the window, hears the knock, gasps. Ethan watches his son like he's afraid he'll disappear. The car pulls into traffic. Zuri's hands are shaking. She doesn't know what she just walked into, but she knows there's no walking out. What was buried in that boy's head, and who put it there? The object sits on a steel tray under a surgical light. Small, sharp, impossible. Dr. Amarich. Ethan stands across the room, arms crossed, jaw tight. Then what is it? A suppression device. Custom made. Designed to block auditory nerve transmission without causing permanent damage. The room goes silent. Noah is in the next room, undergoing scans. Zuri sits in the hallway outside, her backpack still on, her shoes squeaking against the polished floor every time she shifts. Ethan's voice is low, dangerous. Someone put that in my son? Yes. Deliberately. Yes. How long has it been there? Dr. Chen adjusts the lens, based on the tissue response. At least 3 years, maybe longer. 3 years. Ethan's fists clench. Who had access? That's not my area, Mr. Vale. Then whose area is it? She looks up, meets his eyes. The police. Or someone who knows how to handle evidence without destroying it. Ethan pulls out his phone again. 3 calls, each one shorter and sharper than the last. Within an hour, a forensic specialist arrives. Within 2, the device is sealed in a biohazard container and tagged for analysis. Noah comes out of the scanning room still unsteady, still overwhelmed. Every sound is new. The hum of the lights, the click of a door closing, the rustle of Dr. Chen's coat. He covers his ears again. Ethan kneels in front of him. I know it's a lot. Noah nods. We're going to figure this out. Noah's voice is small, fragile. Who did this to me? Ethan doesn't have an answer yet, but he will. Zuri watches from the hallway. She wants to leave, wants to go home, but Ethan told the driver to wait, and no one has said she can go. She pulls her knees to her chest and wraps her arms around them. A nurse walks by, glances at her, keeps moving. She's invisible here, just like she is everywhere else. Except for one moment on a Soho street when she stopped walking and listened to something no one else could hear. Ethan comes out of the exam room. He looks at her. You saved my son's life. Zuri doesn't know what to say. I just felt something was wrong. How? She shrugs. I don't know. He studies her for a long moment, then he crouches down so they're eye level. I need to know who did this, and I think whoever it is might still be close. Close how? Close enough that they could have done it without anyone noticing. Zuri's stomach twists. You mean someone you trust? Ethan's jaw tightens. Yeah. What are you going to do? He stands. Whatever it takes. And that's when the phone in his pocket buzzes. He pulls it out, reads the message. His face goes white. What? Zuri asks. He shows her the screen. It's a text from his head of security. Vanessa Copeland just tried to leave the country. Who is Vanessa Copeland and why is she running? Vanessa Copeland sits in a holding room at JFK Airport, hands folded in her lap, face blank. She's 43. Dark hair pulled into a tight bun, calm eyes, the kind of person you'd trust with your children. And she did have access to Ethan Vale's child. For 4 years, airport security found her at the gate, boarding pass in hand, one-way ticket to Sao Paulo. No luggage, no explanation. Just a passport and a credit card that doesn't match her name. Ethan arrives within 30 minutes. He doesn't knock. Just opens the door and walks in. Vanessa looks up. For a moment, neither of them speaks. Then Ethan pulls out a chair and sits across from her. Why? She doesn't answer. You were in my home. You held my son. You told me you cared about him. Still nothing. Ethan leans forward. They found the device, Vanessa. The one you put in his ear. Her face doesn't change, but her hands tighten. I want a lawyer. You're going to need one. A federal agent steps into the room, badge clipped to his belt, folder in hand. Mr. Vale, we'll take it from here. Ethan doesn't move. I want to know why. The agent places a hand on his shoulder. Sir. Ethan stands slowly. He looks at Vanessa one last time. You took 5 years from him. 5 years of sound, of music, of hearing his own name. Her voice is quiet, almost detached. I never meant for it to last this long. Ethan stops. What? She looks up, and for the first time there's something human in her eyes. Regret, exhaustion. I just wanted him dependent. On me. On you. I thought, if he needed us more, if he couldn't function without help. She trails off. Ethan's voice is cold. You thought what? I thought you'd notice me. The room goes silent. The agent shifts uncomfortably. Ethan stares at her like she's a stranger. You hurt my son because you wanted attention? I didn't think it would. You didn't think. He turns and walks out. The door closes behind him with a soft click. Vanessa sits alone in the room, hands still folded, face still blank. But her eyes are wet. Outside, Ethan leans against the wall and closes his eyes. Noah is safe now. The device is out. The person responsible is in custody. But the damage is done. 5 years. 5 years of silence that never had to happen. He pulls out his phone and calls his lawyer. I want her charged with everything. Assault, child endangerment, malicious intent. I don't care how long it takes. Understood. He hangs up. Then he calls his driver. Bring Noah and the girl to the house. Yes, sir. Ethan walks through the airport terminal, past security, past travelers who have no idea what just happened. He doesn't look back. Because looking back won't change anything. But moving forward might. What happens when the person you trusted most becomes the enemy? The courtroom is cold. Vanessa sits at the defense table, hands folded, lawyer whispering in her ear. Ethan sits 3 rows back, Noah beside him. The boy is different now. Quieter. More careful. He wears hearing aids, but he doesn't need them. His hearing is coming back on its own, piece by piece. The first sound he recognized was his father's voice. The second was Zuri's. She sits 2 rows behind them, next to her mother. Shanice took the day off work. First time in 3 years. The judge enters. Everyone stands. The proceedings begin. Evidence is presented. Medical reports, access logs, security footage. Vanessa's lawyer argues that she never intended permanent harm, that she was suffering from untreated mental health issues, that she deserves leniency. The prosecutor argues that intent doesn't matter. The harm was real. The suffering was real. Noah was robbed of 5 years. The judge listens. Then he asks if anyone has a statement. Ethan stands. My son couldn't hear his own heartbeat for 5 years. He missed birthday songs, lullabies, the sound of rain, because someone I trusted decided her feelings mattered more than his life. The room is silent. Ethan sits. The judge looks at Noah. Does the victim wish to speak? Noah looks at his father. Ethan nods. Noah stands. His voice is still rough, still uncertain, but it's his. I forgive her. The courtroom erupts. The judge bangs his gavel. Order! Ethan stares at his son, stunned. Noah looks at Vanessa. I forgive you, because if I don't, I'll carry what you did for the rest of my life, and I don't want to. Vanessa's face crumples. She covers her mouth with both hands. Her lawyer puts a hand on her shoulder. Noah sits down. The judge clears his throat. The court recognizes the victim's statement. However, forgiveness does not erase accountability. He delivers the sentence. 3 years in a psychiatric facility, followed by 5 years probation. Permanent restraining order. Vanessa is let out in handcuffs. She doesn't look back. Ethan puts his arm around Noah. You didn't have to do that. I know. Then why? Noah looks up at his father. Because I don't want to be angry anymore. Ethan pulls him close. Outside the courthouse, Zuri waits with her mother. Noah walks over. Thank you. Zuri smiles. You would have done the same. I don't know if I would have. Then I guess you'll have to try next time. Noah laughs. It's the first time Ethan has heard him laugh in years. The sound is everything. Can forgiveness heal what hatred breaks? 6 months later, Noah stands in front of a piano. His hands hover over the keys. He's never played before, never heard music, but now he can. He presses one key. The note rings out, clear and bright. He closes his eyes and listens. Ethan watches from the doorway, arms crossed, smiling. Noah plays another note, then another. It's not a song, not yet, but it's a start. Across the city, Zuri sits in her apartment, doing homework. Her mother is home early tonight. She made dinner. Spaghetti, the good kind, with garlic bread. They eat together at the small kitchen table. Shanice looks at her daughter. That boy still writes to you? Zuri nods. Every week. What does he say? That he's learning piano. That he wants to play something for me when he's good enough. Shanice smiles. You did a good thing, baby. I just listened. That's the good thing. Zuri finishes her homework. Her mother cleans the dishes. The apartment is small. The walls are thin, but it's home. And tonight, it's enough. At the Vale penthouse, Ethan tucks Noah into bed. Dad? Yeah? Do you think she's okay? Ethan pauses. Vanessa? Noah nods. I don't know, but I hope so. Why? Because you forgave her. And if you can forgive her, maybe she can forgive herself. Noah thinks about that. Do you forgive her? Ethan sits on the edge of the bed. I'm working on it. Noah smiles. That's okay. You don't have to rush. Ethan kisses his forehead. Good night, Noah. Good night, Dad. He turns off the light and closes the door. In the hallway, he stops. He can hear Noah breathing, shifting in bed, the rustle of blankets. 5 years ago, he couldn't hear any of it. And now, he can hear everything. Ethan walks to his office and sits at his desk. He opens his laptop and pulls up a file. It's a scholarship fund. Established 3 months ago. Named after Zuri Thompson. Full tuition. Books, housing. For kids who notice things other people miss. He types an email to the board. Approved. Let's fund 50 more. He hits send. Then he closes the laptop and walks to the window. The city stretches out below him, lights glittering like stars. Somewhere out there, a girl is doing her homework. A boy is learning to hear the world. And a man is learning that power doesn't come from money. It comes from noticing pain and choosing to act. Because sometimes the miracle isn't the billionaire. It's the child who kneels down and looks closer. And sometimes the thing destroying a life isn't visible until someone brave enough says, "Something here doesn't feel right." If this story moved you, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another story that inspires. Because the next one might be the one that changes everything.